King
Okay.
Disease 3.
King Disease 3.
What do
Okay,
you think
so
about this album?
solid, man. Listen, I mean, Nas, there's a lot of songs here, and I was listening to it a lot the last couple of days, a lot today, and I was trying to put things together. And there's just it Nas is classic, man. He's timeless with his delivery, his content, what he's rapping about, reminding you in subtle ways without being too crazy and braggadocious that he is the GOAT of hip hop,
Mm.
that he, 30 Summers, okay?
Yeah,
ESPN will do 30
I
for
love
30. I
that
mean,
song.
just
I love
these
that song.
lines that he has in these subtle ways that he reminds you, with the song First Time, like
Mhm.
all these things he's reminding you, he's been doing this longer than anybody. And he's
Yeah.
been doing it at a very high level. And it doesn't look like he's slowing down.
No.
And this album's it's a 4.5 micro for me, man. Like it's it's
Oh.
it's it's a 4.5 for me. I like it. It's not. We'll get into our top, King Disease of this trilogy here, but it was good. It's an easy listen. For me, I rate albums based on skips. Is there a song I really don't like that I have to skip? Because even my favorite artists, I skip through some songs, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
only really 1, 2 songs I wasn't really feeling all the way, I would say. But so really not a lot of skips on here. It's a good, easy listen. Um, it's a solid album. And I didn't even know he was coming out with it. Hit Boys is next level right now. The production, the beats, everything that these guys are doing together, it's next level. It's good. It's good music. It's hip hop. This reminds me of why I was so excited as a young adolescent, as a kid in middle school, just learning hip hop, and I saw that Illmatic, or no, that It Was Written was the first album, his second album that I bought at Blockbuster Video. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I heard this song with Lauren. Oh, let me buy this album. He's taking me back. And
Yeah.
listen, that is like 25, 30. That's almost 30
A
years
long
ago.
goddamn time. When
It's
people say the
28 years, and
90s,
he
it's 30 years
still
ago.
sounds as good, and it's still relevant, and he still has the passion in these songs, and it's good, man. I mean, it's there's a lot in there. I like the 30 song. Let me thumb through and give you a couple of the songs I really enjoyed. Let me bring up this album real quick, because I'm
Yeah.
not the best at remembering like all the song names, but let me bring it up real quick for you guys. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you.
Going to hey, guys in the chat. We got two things. Let us know if you listened to the last album that
Yeah.
Nas had, and your top 5 Nas albums. If you guys are deep
Yes,
as
if you
all
know,
we
not give us, or a couple albums you
or
really
your top
enjoyed or
3,
whatnot.
whatever. Yeah.
So I like the Michael and Quincy. I loved how in that
Yeah.
third verse he's talking about Michael Jackson songs and putting them into his verse. Like I like 30, Recession Proof.
Yeah.
Um,
Investing your
what was it?
skills,
Yeah,
investing
yeah,
in
yeah. I liked it. Get Light, First Time, Beef. I thought was good.
yeah.
And then the last two, Don't Shoot Until My Last Breath. I really love those last two songs to round out the album. This is a good album. This is an easy listen for me. I enjoy it. Nas is really good, in my opinion, at, he can be repetitive. That's the one knock I'll give him. He's my GOAT. I'm saying it right. I've been saying it. He's my favorite hip hop artist of all time. He's timeless. He's someone that I can listen to every day, and I'm not disappointed. I can listen to him when I'm in different type of moods, if I need to get motivated, if I want to really be thought provocative, if I want to just like black out everything, I could listen to him. If there's an album I want to just know every word to, I'm going to put in It Was Written or I Am.
And Nas is your top rapper ever? Like your top, like you had a top 5?
He is. Yeah, oh yeah. I
Yeah.
like Kanye for different reasons. I like Biggie. I like Pac. I respect a lot. But Nas is my top guy. Like if I had to, he's my top guy.
We gotta come with that conversation to like top 5 MCs.
Yeah. But he's somebody that the one thing is when he can be repetitive with certain things. I've heard him say the same line numerous times or very similar line in other albums, but he has so much.
Concepts.
His catalog's so big.
Yeah.
But he just reminds you like, he's he's on that Mount Rushmore, regardless if he's
Oh yeah,
1
definitely.
or 4.
Yeah.
He's on the
Absolutely.
Mount Rushmore of hip hop, in my opinion, and he represents
Absolutely.
NY very well. So
Yeah. I tell you, listen, I mean, all right, knock the bullshit. This is the best album of the year. This is the best rap album.
Shit, coming in hot. Hannibal's coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm coming in. I'm kicking through the door. What else is better than that came out this year in terms of rap? Like, I know you like the Kendrick.
I do like the Kendrick. For different
And
reasons.
I know you skipped some songs. I didn't feel any skips in this album.
Yeah.
Any skips at all. Every song connected to the next. And I can't say it for the last King Disease few albums, and
Good
not
point.
that many, like tons of skips, but 3 is special to me because it feels like there's no features. There's no features on this album. I think they had
Yeah, I hadn't
one
thought
with
about that.
a dude was
Yeah.
singing. I'm not sure of his name. They didn't put it in. It's on the track list. I don't know who sang, but obviously it was somebody else. It wasn't him. It was all him.
It's him. Yeah.
Guiding you through everything. And it's different. It's a different thing, a different experience compared to the last 2 albums where there's features. It's all him. He's able to keep you, just carry you through each song. And him and Hit Boy at this point, they're like Rakim and Eric B at this point.
Yeah.
They Snoop and Dre. Like the one knock that it could be a little repetitive. I think all these rappers are repetitive.
Yeah.
Nas' knock in his career is he picked bad beats. His production is not as strong as it should be, or at least it doesn't fit his style.
Compared to some of the other GOATs or really strong hip hop guys, yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah. For example, Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z from Brooklyn, Marcy. I drive by Marcy Parks every day.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's what's up. Okay.
Jay-Z always was able to get the best producers at the time. Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye West. If he was a hot producer at the time, he used your beats. Nas, for whatever reason, didn't want to do that. And some of the production wasn't as strong as Jay-Z. And also Jay-Z dumbed down a lot. He even admitted it. He dumbed down to get more.
Yes, more commercial. Jay-Z's always been more commercial than Nas, like by far.
Yeah. And at this point, they're both businessmen now. I think eventually Nas will probably be a billionaire too. But Jay-Z went to that extreme. He's like, I'm trying to get as much money as possible. I'm going to dumb down my stuff. I'm going to get Timbaland on my stuff. I'm going to get the best, hottest guys. And Nas could have done all that. I mean, Nas worked with Kanye. He had our album out.
He worked with Puffy, back in the day a little bit. Yeah.
But it's just a little different. Nas is a little different. And I think with Hit Boy, all the beats fit. It was like a custom-made suit where Nas was able to talk about all things you want to speak of. So
yeah,
I enjoyed almost every song. I mean, I couldn't tell you a song that I skipped. From even the first one, Get a Reporter. Hood to Hood. Recession Proof, Reminisce. I can't tell you a song that I like, man. I don't like it.
I think the one that I didn't vibe with as much was one that was a little more like R&B-ish, and he's talking about like
women.
A little bit. Yeah, for me, that's not my Nas I enjoy. So I think for me, that's like I listened to it, but I kind of glossed over, maybe, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
That's not the Nas I like. So
yeah, true. Okay. But the man is 50 years old.
Crazy. Looks like 25 too. Shit.
How this is like Tom Brady-ish level of master of his craft that he's able to do this. Is it his best album? No. But I think this year I'm trying to think, and there's a few albums I liked. I don't know. I mean, you got ask, like I said, ask you listen to this album. Do you still think it's better than, or what do you think about in terms of this one versus the Kendrick?
It's tough, man. Yeah, I listen. I'm gonna stand. The Kendrick, it just hits different.
He's gonna win. Kendrick is gonna probably win a Grammy.
I would be surprised if he doesn't. I put Kendrick's album just a notch above this Nas one, only because for me, music is very personal. It takes me to a place. It allows me to think. So the Kendrick album, it's just a different type of album, in my opinion. But I put it just a notch above, only because also, like, I've listened to the Kendrick album a lot more at this point. Like, I've really broken down. Like, I know every song on that album at this point because I listen to it on a weekly basis. I might go for a walk, a run, whatever. I'm listening to that at some point, right?
Yeah.
I haven't done that with Nas yet, so I might feel a little bit differently as I break this down more and listen, because Nas puts in a lot in his music, similar to what Kendrick does. But I give Kendrick the edge right now. Yeah, that's where I stand at this point. But it's still solid. I mean, it's a solid album,
yeah, and at first I thought of it like, this is the album, but I was like, nah, it's it just came out. Usually you do that when you listen to something new. It's special, it's better.
Recency bias a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm listening to it, and you know what helps is the production. It is Hit Boy's production. It's top notch. It's up there. it fits exactly what Nas wants to talk about. And in fact, they, I think I forgot who put. Oh yeah, Hector. Yeah, when you don't collaborate, you don't do features, and you're able to hold people's attention for basically what? How many songs he had?
Hard to do. I don't know. There's like I
Like
don't
that's
know.
J. Cole. Like that's the one thing everyone throws about J. Cole was Forest Hills. The guy had no features. It's hard to get because you want other audience or different artists to come in and check out your material. So you want to make sure you have a lot of features, and he has some features in King Disease 3. I mean 2, but this one he's like, I got this, and he had it. So maybe that's what is so impressive, and I think most rappers can't do that because most rappers can't hold your attention by themselves.
Yeah.
J. Cole can do it, Kendrick can do it,
Yeah.
Nas can do it, Jay-Z. It's
Biggie could do it. Biggie held his own
of
on many,
course.
just the way he story told, you know what I mean, with some good production obviously behind it.
Yeah.
So, Eminem could do it by himself, and he's done that. And there's a lot of people that can.
Yeah,
Do you like
definitely.
this? Let me ask you this before I want to get into I want to rank this trilogy with you, and then we'll get into our top 5. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
So do you rank give me your ranking of this King Disease, 1, 2, and 3. Put them in the order that you have them.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even put none of the King Disease albums on my top 5 Nas albums because
Mhm.
what you said, it just takes some while to kind of think about it. And the albums are very different. I think 1 and 2 is different than 3 because of
It
the
is
fact that
different.
he's doing it on by himself. It's a no features album. And I don't know, for me, maybe it's just my feeling. I always feel like a no features album that is more impressive,
You think so?
right? So I would have 3 at number well, I'll go 3 to 1. The first 3, the first one.
Mhm.
Second one, 2, and the first one is 3. Even though
Oh,
Rare,
really? So you like King Disease 2 better than King Disease 1?
yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah, I
I
think
have the first King Disease as my number 1 out of the 3.
I love well, Rare is one of my favorite Nas songs ever.
Rare's good. Rare's really
And
good.
I don't know if
Rare's
that
really good.
just pops in. I think of
Yeah.
Rare, and then also there's one really skippable song I just do not like from King's Disease 3 with him and I think let me look at it right now. A Boogie with a Hoodie. It just didn't work.
Yeah. Oh,
But
you're talking about the second
Rare,
one, King Disease
yeah,
2. Yeah.
yeah, Rare, Store Run. I could Brunch on Sundays. Uh, Nas is good. I could listen to that. And the first, I do like the first one. Like Ultra
I
Black.
like King.
Like if I had it,
I like
it's
I
not
like
set in stone.
27 Summers a lot on that first one,
Yeah,
man. There's just a few, and I think for me, the King Disease 1 set the tone. He was like, all right, he knew what he was, gonna do, and he kind of set it. The whole King's Disease, what that means, right?
yeah,
He's explaining what a king, and he takes some shots at Jay-Z in the first King Disease a little bit in that first song. Like
yeah.
King Disease 1's my number 1. Then I like King Disease 3. Then I go King Disease 2 if I'm ranking the trilogy at this point.
You really can't go wrong with any of the order. I'll listen to all these albums. I think I will probably listen to 3 more because it's just him. It's just special. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like it was a running meme joke about J. Cole. Like he went platinum with no features. Even though it had nothing to do with anything. Like someone would just say that.
Yeah.
I think people really think that, or at least a lot of hip hop fans think that like that's extremely hard to do nowadays because a lot of hip hop is collaborating. I mean, that's the whole point.
It
Sometimes,
is,
right?
and especially with you're collaborating typically because you want that radio play. You want the
Yeah.
you want okay. I want to maybe I got a collaboration with somebody that's a little ahead of the game, bigger name. I want to and then get your album out that way and get the radio play. So it is
Yeah.
impressive. Also, when you can just hold the audience for that long for a whole album, and there's nobody else coming in. There's no other features. There's no other different type of rap style. So and that's hard to do. So I think
Very
you
difficult.
bring up a really good point. I
Yeah.
hadn't thought about that.
And I like the fact that he worked with so many younger artists. I mean, he worked with the best that's currently out in both King Disease 1 and 2. So you can't go wrong. And maybe for me it could be recency bias for 3. I don't think so though. I'm listening to it and I'm listening to it again. No, I think this is a special album on its own.
Yeah.
I've looked at a little bit of some reviews. Everyone's just saying basically the streak is going. He's still on the streak of hot album after hot album after hot album. It's really difficult to do that and he basically dropped 3 albums in 2 years.
It's nuts. And I think it's almost like you get used to the greatness. So it's hard to like, okay, well, what else can we gonna say about LeBron? What else can we say about Tom Brady? What else can we say about the greats, right? That are still doing it. They're just still doing it, and you just appreciate it. It's not like, at this point, Nas is, for him to come out and like shock us and be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. He's got so much good stuff. We just expect it to be pretty good. And we're just happy that it's better than some of maybe the other things he's done over the last 28 years.
Yeah.
But it's Nas, man. For me, I can't not, I'm listening to him. It's just like it brings me back to that kid that bought that CD at Blockbuster, popped it in at the tape deck, and was like, well, who is this guy? I didn't, he's rapping, he's talking about his projects, what he sees. He's so articulate, the flow's good. Like it's everything's on point. It's like it just takes me back to that time. So
and I think the style of the production, the beats were very, like if you grew up in the 90s, if you had a tape cassette and you recorded songs off the radio, if you had to wait a certain time to watch music videos, right? Like you were on the summer, you just listen to people blast their music from their cars or their stereos. This was the album for you. It brought you back to growing up in the 90s. And that's an experience that only music can do sometimes, right? Like it can just bring you back. So I really enjoyed this one. It's probably one of the albums I really thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah. And obviously it came from, this dude, man. He mastered the craft of hip hop. He mastered it. Then he had this other kid. I don't know how old Hit Boy is, but damn.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is either. Yeah.
But clearly the guy is on the low. I think he is the best producer out right now. Just type his name, Hit Boy, and look at everyone is on him. Everybody checks him out. Everyone. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's not just he just hanging out with the old dudes. He's 35 years old.
I think he does he rap? I think he did a song on one of the King Diseases, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he actually is. He has some rapping songs. He's trying to put himself in there too. And he's been producing for Beyonce, Travis Scott, Kanye West. I know him and Kanye has a problem with each other, but at this point, everyone has
everybody has a problem.
Kanye is not necessarily saying the right things about everybody, but amazing producer. So it's a pleasure it was a pleasure to listen to that all weekend.
For sure.
I was busy as hell, but I was just going out there listening and enjoying, like I said, picking out certain things he said. 30 Summers. How? Right?
It's crazy, man. I think, for a while, Jay-Z, they had their thing, the ether and all that. But like, since then, I feel like they've grown up.
No, they're good. They don't give up.
They're good. They don't care. They're but it's funny because like Jay-Z always used to talk about summer after summer, he would talk about his reign. And Nas is great at put these subtle little jabs that just reminded, hey, I've been doing this longer. 27 summers, that wasn't even the goal. Now he's doing an album, 30 summers, 30 for like Nas is that, and
I got a lot to say with my top 5 concerning Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z, but I got a lot to say about how that all went down.